Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back once again. My name is Jordan, also known as J-Monster. Today I am bringing you a historical battle. We're going to be looking at Azhag the Slaughterer and how he got his name, the Slaughterer. He got this title, after the Battle of Butcher's Hill, which took place between 2512 and 2515, according to the Empire's calendar. And it was fought, of course, between the Empire and the Greenskins. The Empire forces had deployed themselves in a big hill that you can see here. But Azhag, seeing this very powerful defensive formation, was cunning, more cunning than you'd expect an orc warboss to be. So he split his troops into three distinct divisions. The first, which was designed to take the Empire head on, you can see them right here, are the orc biguns, and was composed rather of orcs, biguns, and black orcs, who were going to charge right up the hill and hold the line while the other two divisions moved into position. The second was formed of orcs and goblins, you can see it here on the right, and they were sent by Azhag to skirt around the back of the hill in order to cut off any incoming Empire reinforcements. And finally, the third division was made up of snotlings and goblins. It was very numerous, but not of great quality, and this is Azhag's flanking force. So he uses them to outflank the Empire lines, charge up the hill, and smash into their battle line. Eventually, he used his orcs and goblins to come around and complete the encirclement. The Empire troops were completely surrounded. They were in serious trouble. And it was at this point that Azhag used the Crown of Sorcery, also known as the Crown of Nagash. This is a very powerful artifact that was created by the sorcerer Nagash himself. It had passed down to several prominent figures, one of them being Al-Kadazar, the king of Khemri, who slew Nagash in single combat, with the help of the Skaven, of course, on the Sword of Pure Warpstone. And that was Nagash's first death. And then it passed to an orc wog that swept through the Morcane Empire, who it previously belonged to, and they degenerated and became the Strigos, and they lost the crown. And eventually it came to Azhag, the Slaughterer, and it would whisper terrible things into his ears, and it gave him dark necromantic powers that he would not have otherwise had, and actually make him a little bit smarter too. Hence his reasonably cunning plan here in taking on these entrenched Empire forces. But he used this dark artifact to summon the spirits of the recently slain back to their bodies and bind them, and use them to attack the Empire soldiers. So while they're surrounded by all of these orc troops, maybe they could have broken out and saved some of the army, but they're also being clawed at by their dead comrades, recently risen back to life by the magic of Azhag the Slaughterer. And so not a single Empire troop was spared that day. They all perished on this hill. So how this story got back, I don't know. But the Empire found out about this defeat, and Azhag was henceforth known as the Slaughterer. So looking here, you can see the formations in the order of battle of the Orcish and Empire armies. Largely the cream of their infantry, so they've got great swords, foot Reichsguard, their general. I believe they also have a unit of Knights of Moor as a reserve. It's largely concentrated on their right flank, so of course we're going to counter by sending our Black Orcs and our Orc Biguns with great weapons, and the best infantry that we can field over here to counter the deployment of their best units on their right flank. And while this is being done, we of course have our units charging up the center to try and hold these guys in place so that we can complete our flanking maneuver. We've got a very large battle line here. This is our division. This is the division composed of Orc Biguns and Goblins largely. And our job is going to be to encircle them and prevent them from receiving any reinforcements, but also preventing their escape. So you can see the Goblins, uncharacteristically brave, rushing into battle here. Azhag himself has joined the fray, reaping a bloody harvest among the ranks of these swordsmen and siege engineers. Over here, their best units are being driven back very handily. You can see their great swords here losing very badly to this combined force of Black Orcs and Biguns. Azhag the Slaughterer, now that the encirclement is beginning to be completed, is using his dark magic. We can't actually raise any zombies, but you kind of get the idea. He's using his magic to influence the course of the battle over here on the right flank. So if you look here, you can see that this flank is beginning to break and the Empire being driven back towards their center. This is exactly what we want them to do. So as they're being driven back here by these units, this unit is actually going to be completely destroyed. We're going to start sweeping around with this force of about 4 or 5 units, and they're going to start to sweep around this flank and begin the encirclement on their half, so that we can start to trap these routing units here who are eventually going to reform because they are still fairly healthy units. As you can see, it's already beginning to happen here. These Hellblaster volley gun crews are coming back. But our troops are beginning to get into battle here. We have a large station, or a large detachment, rather, of Empire troops stationed on the left flank. We're moving to engage them with our Orc boys and our heavy frontline units. And we're going to take some big guns with great weapons, and I believe we also have some Black Orcs in here somewhere. Oh no, it's great weapons and goblins. And we're going to sweep around here, and we're going to cut off their retreat, and the encirclement will be almost complete. It's beginning here. This is where many of their troops are beginning to fall back to, but they are getting bogged down in combat with a greater force of our army. So it's only a matter of time before this Empire unit begins to crack. Or Empire army, I should say. Take a look here at just the heavy fighting that's going on. These Empire units trying to hold the line, trying not to be pushed back off of their hilltop defense positions. But there's just so many Orcs and so many big guns. Powerful units here that are able to stand toe-to-toe with the best that the Empire has to offer. Even these heavily armored units are no match for just this tidal wave of Orcs of all different descriptions and all different combat specialities. So if you look in the back here, you can see the encirclement beginning to happen. These Empire engineers and Nuln engineers with grenade launchers are just being driven into a pen here between these Orc big guns with shields and these Orc big guns with great weapons. So there's going to be no escape for any of these Empire troops. They're trying to flee back here to get into a better position and begin firing again, but we can see our troops here moving forwards, and also these guys moving around to cut off their retreat. And in the back over here, you can see some goblins. Some goblins are chasing these Empire troops through the forest. So they are besieged on all sides. There's nowhere for them to hide. Even against these goblins, these Empire handgunners, outnumbered and demoralized as they are going to begin to rout as well. So we're just witnessing the final moments of this proud Empire force here, running towards the edge of the map, trying to escape. But if you look over here, you can see our units already beginning to outflank them, already in pursuit. So back here in the center, the Empire army has been completely annihilated. You've got Azhag the Slaughterer right in the middle there, covered in blood, victorious, having won a great victory. Look at him, he's cheering over the Empire this day. Ah, yeah. Zombies are beginning, you can see him casting some dark magic there. These poor Empire troops who are still alive, still standing, being clawed at by the undead, reanimated corpses of their brethren. So that is the end of this battle. The Empire forces having been completely destroyed. Azhag the Slaughterer earning his name and a infamous place in Empire history, going down as one of their most hated foes, one of the most intelligent and powerful and cunning greenskin war bosses. So that's the end of our historical battle. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's going to be plenty more to come. I'm thinking about doing just like kind of nice little character spotlights for all of the major characters in this game that you might not know a whole lot about. We're going to go a little bit more into depth on their history, on their personalities, on their flaws, on some of the great victories that they won. In those particular videos, this one is more of a historical battle, so it's going to be show off kind of some of the tactics and just give you guys an idea of how this battle went down. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.